have to ask.
Well, it's same here, but I like to get
I know.
confessed.
I know.
Okay, so legacy story gifts. Tell me everything about it.
So Legacy Story Gifts is a unique and curated audio tribute gift to someone who's either retiring, anniversary, so the memorable times of your life, right?
Uh
Birthday,
huh.
all right? So,
Yes.
all right, so I've combined, and I love you to visit the site. I have combined the voiceover piece that I really love with the music piece that I love. And
Yes.
I'm going to walk you through briefly the process, right? And I have a website, the whole bit, and I'm putting
What is
kind
it?
of,
Let's look at it.
okay, legacy story gifts with a plural.com. I still have a few updates to make, but it's for the most part. My earring's stuck in my red hair.
Okay. Uh huh.
All right. So
Yes.
if you
Yes.
click,
Yes.
okay. So just
Uh
I'll
huh.
give you a minute. Just tell me when you want me to, like,
Yeah. Give me just a second.
of course.
I want to see package A and package B and package C name something.
Yeah.
And start the conversation. Here now they're probably they're named something.
Ah, yeah. You're so good. Oh my God.
They're sweet. Who writes the script for you?
I write the scripts based on interviews that I conduct with family members. And so I'm going to walk through part of the process so you can better understand it.
Uh
I
huh.
and I am having difficulty with sort of that content part of the website, really explaining to people what it is so they get it.
Yeah.
Um, so there's a celebration coming up. You want a unique gift, legacy story gift is where you should come. The process is I will hold an interview, an initial interview, just a chat, with whomever it is that's going to lead this project, or from the family or from a colleague at work for somebody who's retiring, whoever that individual is.
Uh huh.
I'm going to ask them a few questions. Yes, of course, date, time, and so forth. But then I'm going to explain the process. This is the process that they get to identify based on the package that they choose, whether or not they want me to interview two, three people. I learned from those three, let's say there are three individuals, I learned from them more about the honoree. Music, for the most part, I focus.
Sorry.
No,
Let me mute. Let me.
no, can you hear me? Oh, okay, it's fine. Okay. You can hear me? Oh, okay. So I'll just keep talking. Okay, no, I'll try to be succinct. So I will interview them. So they'll give me maybe three people to interview. I'll conduct, depending on the package, 30-minute interviews with individuals. And I ask some of the same basic questions. And obviously, I then probe based on what they share with me. I focus on, of course, their life, but I also want to know, do they know the genre of music? Is there literature that they like, a genre of even literature and so forth? And that helps me build the script that I write. And I write the script about their life, but I will also, I think it's package C, I should look at it as well. I will also, in one of the packages, I will create an adaptation of a song based on the genre that I learned about that individual. And I will rewrite that song based on their life. All right.
Ah,
All right. So it's sort of a culminating piece, but I usually put that at the front, at the beginning. So, and I'm gonna ask you to listen to one of them. If you go into tributes or sample tributes or something like that. Uh,
yep.
okay. So just listen, and I
Uh-huh.
think uh, you'll hear one of the songs.
Happy 90th birthday.
Which one? Happy 90th. That's a good one. Yep.
Okay.
Is it playing?
Uh, can you hear me listening to this or no?
No, I don't know where you
Okay.
are. Are you at the
Stand
narrative
by.
yet?
Yeah, Pearlie and I, that's where I'm at. So just hang on, girl.
All right.
It's about the bookshelves right now.
Ah,
Now we have like, oh, now we're on Happy Birthday, John and John. Fun. These are fantastic.
thank you.
I already have like a ton of ideas. Okay, go
Oh my
ahead.
God. Okay, so now, so I gathered information from uncle, a brother, several brothers, and so forth, and then it becomes that piece, right? I
Yeah,
draft the script. I've learned because I've done about 4 of these now, and and Keenan, my son, does all the engineering
yeah,
and all the mixing and all that. I've learned over time the importance of letting that core family member, only one of them, if they want to share with others and bring back comments, they can. But I've learned over time how important that element is because it is becomes a historical document really for that family. And
yeah,
so because I've had some issues where it's like, oh no, they realized like right 2 days before, it was like, no, Uncle John didn't do that. It was, Uncle,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So, because storytelling is funny, everybody's perception is different of what happened,
Right.
remembrance. So anyway, so the script then goes to someone. I give them 2 days perhaps to get it back to me, any comments, and then we refine and get that to them, right? That particular package is the more expensive package because of the time that it takes
Yeah.
to rewrite the music and do that whole thing. However, I provide options, the other 2 options, that where I don't do that, provide them with that song, that adaptation of a song.
Yeah.
So I'm so some of the struggles that I'm having are around pricing. Although Keenan and I have spent a lot of time based on the few that we've done, really going through because a lot of it does take a lot of time. Um,
Yeah.
so
Sure.
you know, but in order for it to be of interest to people, they don't want to wait forever for this bloody thing, which is why those other 2 options are available to them without the music. But if you get the music, you then know, but it's going to take me a little bit longer, but I want it because
Yeah.
it's worth it.
Right.
But the pricing, I'm still not sure whether or not it's a price point that people are willing to pay. But in a way, I won't say that I don't care, but I know how much it takes for us to produce it, you know,
Right.
based on the rates that we've set. I know what Keenan's rate is and so forth.
Sure.
So that's one of the things. And then I don't know, languaging. I don't know if it's like snappy enough, and then promoting it. Uh, it started with someone asking me to sing happy birthday to their aunt. I think it was an aunt. And then from there, I said, you know, I could do a little bit more. I would love to be able to talk to family, and that's how that's how it all began.
Mm-hmm.
So
What's the final deliverable here? Is this something that like you're at a banquet hall and you're playing this, the DJ cues it up? Is it
that's
ever anything? Yeah, well now that we're not in banquet halls at big receptions anymore, how are you suggesting that people use the service considering
this is
the pandemic?
this is the thing. It has always been only audio. I provide them with, I don't add slideshow. I don't do this live. So that
Yeah,
recording that you heard, they played it at Pearlie's birthday party. So
right,
festivities are going on. And then my suggestion to everyone is that, all right, where there's the break and you want this played, to set it up. And I'll provide them with some language. This is
right.
a way that works to set it up. Just imagine, you know, whatever it is, you know, just imagine this story has been told. You can close your eyes, you can listen to it, and you will enjoy
Yeah.
walking through Pearlie's life. That's sort of what I share with them. So I've never done it live. And the audio, oh, I see what you're saying. Right. If people are not gathered together, then they can give that as a gift to the family. You know, like this is a gift that we purchased for
What
Pearlie.
will
They give
happen?
it to
Like what? They're
Pearlie.
gonna get an MP4 file. It's something that comes in
Oh,
a
they do.
podcast format. They're gonna post it
They
online. Like, how are they gonna use it?
MP3. So we give it to them as an MP3. Now, if they want to wave, that's fine. And so I'm glad you're asking these questions because so far we've only had to deliver it one way, which is MP3, which is through an
Right.
MP3. Thinking about now that people's lives are all Zoom, like look at us, they still could, I guess, play it. I don't know. That's a limitation. You know, I would have to suggest
It's
a
not
way.
a limit, but it's not a limitation that you can't overcome. And it's certainly, if you could overcome it, I can see how you can package it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you could overcome it, and you could sell something, even that's got its own little product page that's about virtual baby showers, virtual happy hours, virtual anniversaries, in which you are like the opening, or you're the programming, right?
Oh
We're
my
all going to
God.
listen to this thing. So I would be capitalizing, I think, on the fact that people are doing these family gatherings on Zoom. And you already
You know,
know
man.
how it is on a Zoom when you have more than 3 people, right? It's chaotic. So if there's no programming, it's just like, what? Now let's all sing. Who's gonna get their guitar? Like it just it's mind-numbingly fun. So like
Exactly.
gonna do something that's fun, that's like made for virtual. The second thing I would
Yeah.
say,
You're, wow.
the second thing I would say is that is what about partnering with a video editor who can then do the video portion, and then you can sell a much higher package that includes video. That's no longer a limitation. Somebody whose name is Paul King, by the way, who does video, who you just did a free thing for. So, like, you already have brownie points with a video person.
Oh my God.
I'm wondering what this would be like if it were a presentation that was more like 20 minutes and had what you did. But then when you're interviewing the brothers and sisters, like if you're recording the Zoom and you have the capacity to like record from a Zoom and get audio quality, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Intersperse like them telling the story originally, then you come back with it's think like StoryCorps, like NPR StoryCorps for hire. And then you
Oh
could
my
just sell
God.
like a 20-minute thing. You just need the video portion and you have a video partner now. So that's a secondary idea. And then the third one is corporate. So like, why aren't people doing this for Employee of the Month? Internal
Yeah.
podcasts, customer profiles. I mean, I could see a campaign like this easily where it's like, you know, until I discovered draft, my baby's rashes were so bad. You know, like, I don't know. You can just, you know, so-and-so's been using Goodyear tires on every truck since the day they were born, and then you go and tell their life story. So I just feel like you have a lot of legs here. Virtual event planning, find a virtual event planner and start making friends. Video legacy stuff, and corporate.
Okay. I almost don't have anything else to say here because you have taken this core idea and have elevated so that it not only fits this sort of situation, this Zoom world, the COVID world, well, not COVID world, the more,
Yeah.
I hate to call it that. Anyway,
Lockdown. We're all on lockdown.
we're on lockdown. And then beyond, because even when things change, it still can be a very solid offering, you know, with several degrees or packages that could be offered. What's funny is that a woman that I work with, she said, "Oh, Janine, I thought of you." She just lost her dad, unfortunately, and they hosted his remembrance via Zoom. And she said, "I thought of you." She said, "Because I think that there's some money in helping people." Now, she was speaking more in terms of like helping them facilitate the the remembrance online. Her uncle did this slideshow. He did a really great job, but she said, "Just think if you did something like this online." She said, she couldn't think of the name of the business. She goes, the Janine Media, whatever. So, but you have shaped that that concept into something that's a bit more packageable, I guess. And and they could be used for funerals as well. I mean, you know, if you
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be looking at funeral homes, virtual event planners, video people, live stream. People are doing live stream. I mean, that's where you came in for Bread for the City was live stream. So like, you know, it starts off with like CEO George, you know, just kind of standing there nervously. But instead, Paul was so smart to stack Donnie Simpson before him, you know, before that. So it all set the like if people start live streaming a wedding or live streaming a funeral or a baby shower or something like that, you can provide that programming that's in the middle. So it feels like you've got a lot of niches you could be marketing to. It's a matter of getting this language of your packages kind of on point. I'd really be chasing corporate because the desperate. Here's desperate. Here's why. Okay, you were perfect for the Bread for the City project for so many reasons. I can't even. I was like firing all so. But one of the things that made you so successful was that you could record audio quality at home. So somebody didn't have to. You didn't have to like coach somebody on how to use the mic, use the software. You were able to deliver like radio ready spots like that. So
wow,
to me, I hate the expression "no brainer," but like it's a no brainer, man. This is the need. This is a need for corporate and personal.
So do you envision, okay, so corporate do you envision that I would be that I would be live? I would be live?
I don't think you would be live. I think you would be partnering with somebody who does all the programming, and you would do what like you did for us. Here's 30 seconds to begin and 30 seconds at the end. And then for this project here, like if you were doing legacy work, then I don't know how much I just listened to. 2 minutes, you know, about Pearly.
I love it. Yes.
You know, whatever that is. Or maybe, you know, the live stream person does video too, and they're taking stories and interviews and weaving it together. You can have a $20,000 product.
Oh my
You know what I'm
God.
saying?
And they could,
Don't you?
that, I totally do. And I see where, and in my FAQs, I'm sort of making, not an excuse, but I'm justifying not why we don't deal with images, adding to like a slideshow. But if
Yeah,
there was another production piece to that, that could be the partner
exactly.
who does that, right? I mean, if
Exactly. Yep. So you're working together with them, and somebody's managing the project on your end or their end,
yeah,
and you do the interviews, you do them on Zoom, you pull your sound bites out of that, and have Keenan produce those. You do your
yes,
piece, that the song that's, then you do your other bit to do, and then you stitch them all together,
right,
and you'll have like real family members telling the story. You'll have you to keep the narrative from where everybody understands the structure of it. You'll have your beautiful song. You'll have pictures that people have submitted.
oh my God,
Like I said, I can see this corporate. I could see it in families very, very, very easily. Live
Rebecca,
stream.
this is exciting. So in this same format, and again, I'm thinking my mind is just going. So in this, and I'm
Yeah.
very visual as you are. So in this same format, in a Zoom format, we have already conducted the interview. And all that. I've already put it together. I've got the script, got that agreed to. And then we do the audio production of it. But now in terms of the family, what were you suggesting, like the family member, that they actually read theirs live, or I
When
actually,
you
because I have,
no, so when you interview them on the Zoom, make sure that they have a mic. Like that'll be your job to kind of give them the tools they need, and then you record the Zoom, and you can strip the audio out, or who's ever doing the video portion can add that piece as video. And I have
yeah,
a couple
got it.
partners that can work with that, so that then when you've interviewed them once, it's all you need to do. You're getting their original storytelling and the voice you can tease out of that. And then your script doesn't have to be so reliant on like, and then they got on a bicycle and rode around the corner. And what
Yeah.
did they see? A horse's carriage. Like,
Oh my God, you get it. Because that is, yeah, you got to bridge everything. You have to tie in every piece of the story. But if they're telling it now, one of them,
you are the bridge. You are the
yeah,
bridge. It's not just
yeah,
a free for all.
yeah, okay.
You have
And
to
yeah,
keep it be like, yeah, you have to be like, and then cousin George should say, you set up the story. You're the Ira Glass. You set
yes,
up the story,
your class,
and
yeah.
then through the magic of video editing, you don't have to coach them. You just do what you normally do, and you let the video editing tell that story. And then you weave in your pieces. So when you're doing your voiceover, maybe those are pictures fading back. And then
Yeah,
spliced in, here comes the storytelling piece, and then you come
yes,
back and bridge. And maybe this is
yes,
the time for your song, and then someone else tells a story. Maybe you're talking about like less than 20 minutes worth of a total final package that's,
yes.
you're definitely pricing in the thousands. I'll tell you that right now.
It totally is, right? Because what you just, so I've done one, and I think I have and I'm not asking you to listen to it now, but there's another one, Joan, and if you look at Joan and John, they were twins. They
Yeah.
are twins. All right. So they get the song, they get the whole bit. I interview family members and all of that, right? But I also allowed them to submit audio. I told them to make sure that they were in a room, maybe a closet, to record,
Yeah.
snippets. So some of them, I had to keep it under a minute. So I think 3 people submitted audio, and then we put those together as well. And
Perfect.
so I would like you to, not now, I mean, because
Yeah.
it'd be too long, but um, to hear that, because so that could be offered, but then, yeah,
I think you'd have an audio version that's exactly what you're doing. I think you could have a standalone song. It doesn't come with any, it's just the dang song. So you could add on to anything.
oh my gosh,
I think that stands alone.
I never even thought about just using the song alone by itself.
Why not?
because that's a gift, and that's how it started. Someone wanted me to sing happy birthday, but
Yeah.
and then I said, I can adapt, I can do this or that,
Yeah.
But, okay, so right, so it could be the song. So there's different packages, right? There's different.
Yeah, I would think so. I think you'd have audio only. That's like 90 seconds or a minute, and that's you doing your thing, and that's like, let me look at your pricing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like the 650, and then you could have like a 12 to $1,500 price range
Yeah.
entry, and that includes like one of that, and you have to work backwards. And then I
Yeah.
think you have like a big, honestly, like a 20-minute thing that costs like $7,000 or something. I mean, if every kid put in 1,500, they'd have something for mom. Like, it's not.
You.
And then corporate, I'd be selling packages. I would be like 5 employees, 5 employees, storytelling, blah blah blah. Or I would be doing live stream. That I would package what you did for Bread for the City.
Yeah. Wow.
Big time. I would package that. You and I could work together on scripts if you wanted to do something that was like marketing wise.
Yes. And
That's 4 right there.
This is where partnerships come into play, right?
That's right.
This is where and you mentioned Paul. I mean, I can see us working together.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Okay. You have changed my life because listen, Keen and I, yeah, I still can do, offer an audio package or whatever, but to your point, as we move through this sort of continuum of COVID, it's going to be first of all, it's going to be a long while before we really are together the way we used to, piled on top of each other, doing line dances at receptions. And, so to be able to
I miss that chicken dance.
I know, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, but to be able to package, to provide these I say extreme, but more involved.
Robust.
Yeah, robust. You're so good. That's because you're a content. You're so good. Robust packages. It gives people, yes, more choices. And like you said, corporate, they're willing to pay that dollar for a production. Right. Yeah. And that's what they'll be getting. And that's something that we can't, and I'm pointing here because my studio's right over there. I'm like, point, but oh my God. Okay, so what do I do? Well,
I think the next thing I would do is I would find out, I would start to price these out and really flesh out what are they all involved. What are the components of every one of them? Yeah. And I love that you and Keen have really done your due diligence with making sure that you're tracking and understanding how much labor and intensity goes into something like this so that you can price it appropriately. These are not things that we want to do for cheap. We'll have like a cheaper version, but this isn't a cheap product by any means. If you only have $100, sis, you're gonna have to get the Red Lobster gift card. You're not doing a legacy audio project.
Exactly. Rebecca, thank you for saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't cheap. This isn't a cheap thing. And it shouldn't be, because there's a lot of do-it-yourself options out there.
Yep.
So if you are a DIYer who doesn't want to spend a lot of money but wants something fabulous, you are welcome to learn the software, buy the equipment, acquire this voice.
I love you.
And make it all happen. But if you want to pay somebody to do it right, then it's time to open up your wallet. So this is not a cheap thing. So I'll really figure out how much does it take you to do it, and then we're gonna price on that level.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just thinking about like all of the even just the associations right now that are putting out webcasts, who need somebody to say this is provided by and put on and press Control-C to do this thing. That's and then get a recording at the end. Like even that mundaneness has a market.
You are so right. You are
And they
so,
can get people on their own staff to do it, and it sounds like shit, and no one listens to it, or they can get you.
that's right. Man, lady, what? I'm really excited about this. I'm excited and I'm ready
Oh my
now
God, I'm excited for you.
and more
I
inspired.
want to get work for you. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you. I was gonna say something. Anyway, it related to this, so I can't remember what it
Yeah,
was.
so
But
flesh out these packages.
okay.
Put down a list. What do you think all of them? They include a 2-minute and 90-second this, audio only, video integration, up to how many pictures, so how many interviews are you willing to do? Just start getting it out of you.
Yes.
And then share that with me, and I'll give you some feedback on it. We'll kind of collaborate on that. And then we'll write the packaging descriptions. I mean, you could have a corporate side and a virtual event side. I mean, think of all the virtual conferences they're having right now.
Yes.
You don't have a key speaker introducing. And when you get somebody who's like not, I mean, maybe it's like George was a perfect example. He's a dynamic guy.
Yeah.
Microphone.
Yeah. I remember him. Yes. Yeah.
Will continue to enjoy this wonderful program. That's amazing because you got access to the real person, and I think
was
that's
gonna say
important. But you've got to parenthetically do it with like pizzazz and polish
that.
in
Yeah.
order to keep somebody's engagement.
That's right.
And that's your special sauce. You better let's write that down. Pizzazz and polish.
I know you're so good, and and I'm sitting here, and because I'm trying to be attentive and thinking through everything that you're sharing with me. You'll share the video. I mean, the audio.
Yes.
Oh, that is
I'll
so.
share the video and everything. Yeah. So
Okay,
you can
thank
get
you.
that. I'll send a follow-up too with like, I didn't take a ton of notes because I did a lot of talking.
No, this is
But I'll
great.
send you a follow-up with like, here's what I think you should do. So flesh out the
Okay.
packages. We have a virtual event side.
Yep.
We have a personal virtual event side with
Yep.
funerals, baby showers, gender reveals, weddings, coming out parties.
Oh
Who
my God.
cares?
I know.
And then corporate, where you can do live streaming, introducing webinars, employee of the month, customer profiles, marketing.
You
So
are
I think
phenomenal.
oh, girl, you're filling my bucket.
Because but it's true. Your mind just works like this because you know marketing, and you know what may sell, what might be of interest, and the language that has to be a part of it to get someone to go, oh wow, that is something I need, and that's where I struggle. And but this partnership, because where would you tie into sort of I'm going to say repayment, but where we work together, I mean really on a business level? I'm serious.
Yeah. What's the question?
No, I'm asking. So how will in either of these packages, like, is it in the review? Like when I look at the packages and flush that out and say, okay, I know how much, because if you look, let me speak English. My mind is just going 100 miles.
I know. It's
Okay.
exciting.
So
I love to talk about this stuff.
if I redo, the packages and I language it the way that I think I will, the next phase of this, where I then pay you for your service, is then capturing it and languaging it in a way that is marketable, right?
Yeah, I think we would develop a sell sheet. Do you know what that is?
Oh yeah,
It's like a one-pager. It's like a flyer. We might think of it as a flyer, but
yes.
it's a PDF that's got kind of like all of the bells and whistles. I mean, honestly, even just the voiceover for corporate, like the bread for the city thing,
Yeah.
you probably have a gajillion government contractor contacts, baby.
I know.
You can be shopping this too.
I know. And the only thing that I'm limited by is I cannot not only promote, but I can't accept dollars from my department. I'm with the Department of Health and Human Services.
Okay.
So, but if it's outside of the Department of Health and Human Services, like EPA or something, I can market to them, but I can't
I
without.
would girl, I would be like, I don't know what you have to do to work as a contractor for the federal government, but I would go get all that stuff
Yeah, you're right.
and I would see if anybody bites it, but I would be like, I am already ready to be in the system. I'm already in the
Yeah.
system. I know the language. I know the people I represent. Webinars,
Wow.
podcasts, stuff like that. Podcast introductions, that's another thing. People
Yeah.
need someone to read the intro and read the outro. Advertising, sponsorship advertising. I mean, like, you can do all this in your sleep and from your studio.
Oh my God, from home.
From home,
Okay,
exactly.
ah, okay. I am so excited.
Good. I'm happy to see you excited.
I am so excited because for the longest time I put this whole thing on the back burner. After
Yeah.
we did about four or so of these, and then things changed in our life, and then I decided, you know what, I would, and it was your call. I'm telling you, no joke. I've been teetering around, playing around with the website, like taking the word "if" here and moving it over there, and
Yeah.
baby stuff, but not thinking creatively as this conversation has allowed, you know what I mean? Where else
Yeah.
do you want this to go? I think I was almost afraid, to be honest, for it to be larger than life. But you've shared, you've offered many examples as to how it doesn't have to rest with Keenan and I.
That's correct.
That's the thing.
That's correct. It doesn't mean you can even take the second fiddle if you want to. You're approaching let's just say two video companies, and you're, say if you want to pull the wagon on this project, then this is what I bring to the table, and we could do like a partnership, a co-brand. You need sound experience plus
Yeah.
King Productions
Yes.
introduces or presents or whatever.
Wow.
So
Wow.
find out, think about what you think it needs to have. Then we'll go price out what a
Yeah.
video company would charge the project to do.
Absolutely.
And we can figure out who's pulling the wagon on it, based on your bandwidth and Keenan's bandwidth and things like that. But I would be pushing so hard on virtual events and corporate.
And corporate. Okay. I will. And I just, a side note, I got a really nice card from Paul, a thank you card. It was
Good.
really, I just got it yesterday, I think.
I got one too. That's so
Yeah,
sweet.
it was really kind. I mean, I knew he was gonna. I figured he was writing, sending a card, but it was just nice, and it was from his heart. And, basically, that's what people want. They want to hear from you. They want it. They want your heart. Doesn't have to
Exactly.
be, yeah. You don't need a whole script.
He is an
But
earnest fellow.
he seems to be. Have you known him for a while? Have you worked with him before?
Yeah, well, we've worked mostly on internal projects, his own stuff. I helped him submit an RFP for a university. I have branded two of his projects. He has this video business, and then he has Virginia Live Stream. So we branded
Wow.
both of those. I've done some marketing stuff for him. I've written some sales emails. But the Bread for the Sea was the first
Awesome.
project where we both came on board. We both got paid. We both worked for a singular client. And then he just
Love it.
brought me on another project for Scalia Law School to do a admissions video. Like, it's a virtual tour, so it's kind of the same deal.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm for real.
You're really you're opening that door for me in my mind, to think beyond my own capability and the importance in partnering, because you don't have, one organization or entity never has the full capacity to deliver, right?
Exactly.
You just don't. And I'm not about to hire for that capacity,
Right,
personally.
no.
So,
We call it a friend of mine calls it a pod. So like you're in your pod, and like maybe if you're a marketing person, you've got a social media person, a graphic designer, a video producer, a podcast producer, sound engineer. You've got like a pod of people that you can take on bigger projects through teaming. And teaming is where it is at right now.
and you said, wait, what did you call it? Teaming?
Teaming, yeah.
Yeah. Got it. Yep.
Where it's
It,
at right now.
and you know what, Rebecca? In a few years, I'm really looking at, retiring,
Yeah,
and
girl, I can't
and when I
believe
say
it's coming
retire,
up.
I know, and I'm talking about getting out of the, just federal government. I don't mean retirement, period. And I want this, and then the nonprofit. I'm not going to talk about that at this point. I'm so glad this when this opportunity came up. I don't know why I felt as though I should use this time to talk about the nonprofit. But to be honest with you, as this date drew closer, I really wanted to talk about this. You know,
This
so
could be the thing that funds the nonprofit. We can
yeah.
talk about the nonprofit anytime. You can drop time on my calendar anytime you want. You have
Oh,
a free pass.
I love you so much. I wish we could get together and do like that's just a meal. I just a simple meal. I'm not talking
I,
anything fancy. I'm not a fancy kind of, you know,
I know.
luncher.
Well, listen, you're in Virginia, right?
Yep. Where are you?
Oh, I'm south of Annapolis.
You. Oh, you
I
are?
didn't,
Yeah.
I didn't used to be. When we met, I still had my house in D.C.
I was gonna say. Wait a second. Okay. So you are south of Annapolis. That's past the naval. That's uh
Yeah, it's called Edgewater. You've ever heard
Edgewater.
of it?
I've heard of Edgewater.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I bet you love it down there.
Oh my God, it's so nice.
Oh my
After
God.
23 years in the city, it is so
Got it.
nice.
Good for you.
Potholes, politicians, parking tickets, and panhandlers. That's your life when you
It,
live in the city.
yeah, you're right. And now you're probably like, what was the Green Acres song? Green
Oh,
Acres is
farm living is the
the
thing
life
for
for
me.
me. Land, spread it out so far and wide. That's nice. And it's great that you made that decision early enough in your life where you can really enjoy it. I follow this woman on YouTube and social, period. Her name is Shameless Maya. And that matters less. You probably will love her. She's just like out there. She does her thing. And, she's a content creator. She does a lot of video stuff, whatever. Anyway, the love of her life and they moved to Sweden.
Oh,
Sweden.
wow.
And she has a long story, about how they ended up there. He's from Sweden. But and that's where those words came sort of natural to me that you did this early enough in your life that you can really enjoy it. And she's like, what the hell? What do I have to lose? I was living in LA. And she's like, my God, who wants to spend the rest of their life like in LA?
Right.
And some people do, but for her, she's found this life that is quiet and she can garden. She can, still do her video stuff. People still love Shameless Maya,
Yeah,
she can still teach, from Sweden,
that's
So,
so
and
awesome.
yeah, and it doesn't happen often that you reach a point in your life early enough to really enjoy that lifestyle. So,
We
uh,
also downsize like a mug.
you smart.
Oh, I would say 70%. I got rid of 70% of my stuff.
No.
I'm not exaggerating.
How did you? I mean, but
Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. I just gave it away. I gave everything away. I put ads up on Craigslist and just gave it all away just get rid of it. There was
see,
like we had our house in Brookland, and like behind us there was an apartment building. This guy leans out the window. Was like, I just moved out. My like I think his wife died, or his mother. Somebody like he'd been living with his mom. Maybe this is my first apartment. I'm 63 years old. I've never lived alone. Never lived on my own. I need furniture. I gave him. I just sent boys over there, like loaded up furniture, just like gave them everything.
Rebecca.
And it's actually a sweet story in which everything that I really gave away was in this period of my life where I loved like carved wooden antiques, like, whatever. And then I got away from that. I was like, I need things that are fun to make me happy.
Yes.
This man was a furniture restorer that was an old shop teacher, and he sanded it all down and
No.
painted it and restored all the furniture.
You're kidding me.
I am serious.
So it was a gift given to someone who knew
What to do with it? It
what
could
to do.
appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, it was like, oh my God, you're speaking my language. It was bananas. I wrote a blog, but I'll send it to you. I wrote a couple of essays about
You did? Where
it.
do you
Yeah.
publish your essays?
on my website. I feel like these aren't on my new website. I think these are on Medium. I'll find a link and send them to
A
you.
Medium, because I
But I have
follow.
one about like moving out of the city, and I have one about downsizing everything, moving
Sure,
like
yeah, send
pretty
them
much
to me.
70% of my life.
And then if you send it to me, and if it's on Medium, I can follow you on Medium, right?
You can, but I
Yeah.
haven't published anything on there in a while. I haven't written an essay in a long time.
Really? Okay. Yeah. It
Yeah, it's
takes,
been a lot of like work.
I know. How's your daughter? I see her when you post things on Instagram. Yeah.
She is her own spirit, honey. She
She's your
is her
daughter.
own spirit. She is indeed. I'm a little. She doesn't have like the perfect parents, but I'm a little jealous that she gets to go to this free range chicken school, and her parents are like, dye your hair blue. I don't care. Shave it off. Be queer. I don't fly your rainbow flag.
Dude,
Listen to music. Watch anime. Just do whatever you want to do.
whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do, girl.
You know what? Because at the end of the day, that's where she's going to end up anyway, right?
Exactly.
Right. And instead of her going through the, and I say tumultuous, but some
The
of
pushback.
you're like, no, do it. Do it. Enjoy
Have
it
fun.
all. You know,
Exactly.
and along the way, she's not only finding herself, she's being herself. Dang. Put that in writing.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine the freedom to be yourself at 12?
I don't know what that
That's
feels
not
like.
our generation, girl.
It isn't. It isn't
Uh-uh.
at all. Nope. It was, be this and you'll be this and
That's
you'll be happy in life. And all of
that's
that
right.
is the box. Yeah.
That's
So,
right. Guys don't make passes at girls with fat asses is about the whole theme of my adolescence.
oh, wow. And I never heard it that way, but I felt that. Yeah, because that's actually what was basically communicated. Keep
That's
yourself
right.
this, do yourself this way, do
You
this.
will not get married. No one will like you. Like no one will like you like that if you're fat. I had my mom is like a feminist. I'm getting way off. My mom is like a serious feminist. She's like very empowered
Oh
and
my
she's
God.
she's awesome. When I was 30 years old, I decided I wanted to get a breast reduction. My boobs were like they were bananas huge.
Yeah.
I had to ask my parents, like, because I'm going to surgically alter my body. So I called my dad, and I was like, oh, my man, and it was cool. He was like, I'm okay. I called my mom. This progressive person.
Oh, you froze.
You know what she said, girl? What if you meet a man that likes big boobs? So therefore, you would not have ever given him a chance to like your boobs because you had a reduction.
That's funny. That's a story in and of it.
That's
That's a
right.
lot. Oh my God. And you probably thought, there you go.
That's what I was like. I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
The best
What
is
about
one of
me?
the best decisions I ever made.
Yeah, you're like, what about me? And what about like the back problems that I'm having as a result of having a lot going on up here? How about the
What
fact that
about not making decisions as to whether or not you're going to attract a man?
thank you. What
How
about
about that?
that? What about
But
that?
but we're so acculturated. Like I said, she's a liberated feminist
That's
thinker. She
amazing to
was
me.
like, she was pro Hillary. What Hillary was like a wife, but it's so ingrained.
It is. It
So
is. Oh my God. And so you can never, well, I won't say never, but we have, because we found a way to be ourselves. Although I have to say in my 9 to 5, which is why I love all these other spaces that I'm able, and the sandbox I'm able to play in, right? But my 9 to 5 is not at all what I enjoy doing at all. At all. It's in the Office of Communications. We do, social media around healthcare research. And I love public health, believe me, which is why the nonprofit gives me the sandbox, right? To do the things
right.
that I really think that the public, particularly women, need. But when I think about how much time I've spent in the career doing the work that I've been at this agency for almost 10 years in November. But then I say, God, thank you for giving me the sandbox and for me to recognize that I do have space to do other things. But I chose it and stayed because it was somewhat safe. Yeah.
And girl, a pension is no joke.
I know, but yeah,
A pension is no joke.
yeah.
That is quite a perk.
I am, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. It's just I wish I was
I,
getting I'm not gonna say I wish I would, but had I made different decisions, I still would have been drawing a pension perhaps, but really kind of rolling. But maybe it wouldn't have given me the leverage, if you will, the space to do these other things.
that's right. And look, you're up for retirement sooner than later.
Yep,
And
I am.
normally, the advice might be like, life is so short, grab it by whatever. But you are close, Mama. Stick with
That's
your
right.
plan. Trust your
I'm
gut.
okay.
And then
All
you're gonna
right.
have all the time in the world to open up.
That's right.
Plus, the legacy, work,
That's
darling.
right.
Work.
Yes. I listen. I even started another a website for myself. This is really for me. It's called the Janine Collective, and you can go to it right now. The JanineCollective.com. The JanineCollective.com, and it basically is I curate the stuff that I love, what I like, the things I'm passionate about. The categories that I've chosen are like faith and family. Um, um,
Collection or collective?
yeah.
Collective.
Collective. Yeah.
Yes, gardening, Mama.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
I have
And
some questions to ask you about gardening.
oh, please let them rip.
Oh, Miss Thing. Okay, so I have a black thumb by general. I've really
No, you don't.
very much successfully only cared for a spider plant up until this moment right now. But the pandemic has got me like really feeling homesteady. That I want my house to be. No
Good.
one may ever come here again. I'm gonna paint the color I want to paint. I'm gonna plant what I want to plant. Blah 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 blah. So I am
Oh, your
trying
color is
my
gorgeous.
hand. Isn't it fun? Everybody poo pooed it. Everybody. My mother was like, glad you like it. I mean, like, everybody poo-pooed it.
And me, I'm like, oh my God, that is so gorgeous. I love it. And then it's like I felt it was it's your expression of whatever museum in a way that you wanted. You colored it that room to match the art and your personality and your all of that. Yeah, I love it.
You're amazing. I actually do it the other way. I pick the color and then the art goes where it goes. I
Wow.
don't even.
Well,
I
it
don't
worked.
even. I wanted to do all. You have to come out here sometime. I want to do all greens and
Love
blues.
it.
So like the public spaces are the green, bedrooms are blue, and then the utility spaces in between are teal, are in between.
Got it.
Anyway, I digress. Okay,
Got it.
so we had some success. We planted 10 tomato plants and got 5 of them to produce a lot of aromas, which was great. Planted a ton of herbs. Those are
Oh,
doing well, except for the cilantro. That's committed suicide every time I tried to plant it. Now I got
no,
fall
cilantro is
vegetables.
difficult. So cilantro is
Oh, that's
difficult.
good.
Go
That's
ahead.
good to know. I was like, why does
Yeah.
cilantro would rather die than be in my front yard?
Can I tell you something real quick? And I'll let you
Yeah.
finish. Cilantro, it really is more of a cool weather herb. People think because we love cilantro and our guacamole and all these fresh spring summer dishes, but cilantro will quickly bolt. It will
Yeah.
grow and then you get a flower.
Yeah.
That's because it's just too bloody warm. And one of the few ways that you can maintain your cilantro during the summer, and it's hard as hell. And I can send you many articles that will tell you exactly what I'm about to tell you. You can put it perhaps in a very shady spot where you don't think anything's going to grow. Your cilantro probably will do much better under a table, like on your deck or something, or
Oh, okay.
yeah. But it's not going to last all summer long. I'm just going to tell you,
Yeah.
anyone who grows cilantro, they're going to have difficulty unless the conditions will allow you to keep it longer. So anyway, go ahead.
Okay, that's good to know. I also
Yeah.
know the parsley's a little bit of a baby too. It wants
Yeah.
to be in the shade. Okay, so we planted a bunch of fall veggies. I'm probably too late, but they're all in the ground. And I've got purple cabbage, bok choy, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kombucha squash, all kinds of broccoli, all kinds of fun stuff.
Oh my God.
Now, I'm starting to clock more into like the Facebook groups that are like native gardening, and I'm starting to understand, okay? I need pollinators. I need birds. I need butterflies. I need to be able to feed them. I need to not spray pesticides because it's all part of the ecosystem.
Yes.
But my broccoli and some of my cabbage and definitely the bok choy and the Brussels sprouts are like witches' fingers because they've been stripped of all the leaves, little holes all over them, and stripped.
Yes.
So how do I achieve being able to actually grow real vegetables, not kill a bunch of caterpillars that are required for the ecosystem?
No, I know.
Like how, what do I do? What am I supposed to do?
Okay.
What do I do, Janine? What do I do? I
Okay.
want the broccoli.
Listen, this is what you're gonna have to do. And seriously,
Okay.
there's a product called BT, and it stands for like Bacillium, blah blah blah. But it will, and it's a natural product, but it's like it's not, I don't think they call it a pesticide. But if you say BT, I'm gonna pull it up. Hold on. And the point is, you're going to have to spray. You are going to have to spray them like once. I don't know if it's once a week, and I need to look at it to see, because they will continue when I grow kale, you know,
Yeah.
broccoli, and one day it can be looking great, and you look out there in 2 days, and it's like, what the? It's a skeleton, literally. It's like
Yeah.
a skeleton. But that's because it has to be sprayed, because if you flip that leaf over, yeah, you're gonna see like I'm not sure if it's cabbage worm or you're gonna see literally a green worm. If you go out right now to your greens, if you flip the leaf over, you're gonna see little worms. If you ever see like little almost white spots, those white spots, that's because it's a worm that's been sucking on the reverse side of your leaf. So
Okay.
that's one thing. And what will help you, and it really will, is BT. It doesn't sound great. It's a concentrate, and you're gonna put that inside of
Yeah.
a pump sprayer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I love those because all you have to do is just point and squirt, and it will help to preserve and extend the life, if you will, of all those greens that you just mentioned. Your broccolis, your the cabbage, and then honestly, did you say cauliflower? Because cauliflower is not that easy to grow either.
There is cauliflower in the ground and also kale.
Okay, kale, and that's great because you've chosen. It's really COLE, cold, because of the type of leaf that it grows. It's a cold weather crop, but we also say, right, cold weather crop. It means the same, but the true word is cold. So you've chosen cold weather crops. You have them in the ground. How did you buy them as plants, or did you grow them from seed?
No, I bought them as plants.
That's fine.
I haven't had, well, except for the kombucha squash and the banana squash were from seeds.
Okay.
But everything else came as a plant.
When did you, and this is a side note, I got kombucha squash seed from a friend who lives in California. She sent them to me, and I thought kombucha, that it was too late in the season for me to plant kombucha. They're so cute. And so I didn't plant them when I got them. And she sent them in August. And I probably could have planted them. And to be honest with you, I didn't even take the time to really look it up the way that I should have.
Yeah.
But you had the plant already. You bought it. No, you just said you planted as seeds.
The kombucha squash we grew from seeds, but we'd put seeds like in an egg carton in the window until we got sprouts, and then I planted the sprouts.
Okay, perfect. I got it. So you got the sprout. All right. So let's go back to where I was. BT, and I'm gonna pull this up. If I don't know if do I go away?
You're awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm. You talk about gardening, girl. I am. Yeah, this is it right here, and you get it from anywhere. You know, the big box store or Ace Hardware. They're gonna carry it.
Yeah.
It's called Benide Thuricide Bacillus thuringiensis. So that's why BT works. So. And let me read to you. Right. Take care of caterpillars and other destructive pests with Benide, that whole word, concentrate. This liquid formulation of bacteria, so it's an actual bacteria, which is why it's safe, is a liquid form of bacteria. Is used to control caterpillars, loopers, Those and all loopers can, everything that you named, about half of these pests are loved. They love them. So caterpillars, loopers, cabbage worms, hornworms. Now hornworms you find on your tomatoes. Did you find any that had they were
No,
green? You're lucky
no.
because they will eat your tomato plant, and it will almost destroy your tomato plant. They're called hornworms. So
Yeah.
leaf folders, I don't.
The big boys didn't, the beefsteaks didn't produce at all. They did nothing. And the aromas
They,
went bananas.
okay, so can I ask you something? Did the beefsteak,
Yeah.
you get green? Did you get foliage? You know, did you get green?
Yeah, and lots of flowers. And then 3 anemic little tomatoes that were like,
Okay, yeah, that's really interesting, and it and right, pollinators is probably, it could be part of the reason, but you
yeah.
know you can self-pollinate as well. You can self-pollinate. You can, and this is a side note, and this is for next season, right? Self-pollination, there's several steps, and you know what? I'm going to send you some videos, but self-pollination is easy. Like for tomatoes, if you have two yellow flowers that have opened, right?
Uh-huh.
You just have two. You literally can flick. That's why I keep doing this. You can flick the branch. You could just flick it,
Yeah.
and it will pollinate. Okay, you just,
Huh.
and so every time, if you ever see the flower, and you need two, right? You need two, you know, two for it to pollinate.
Yeah.
You just tap it. Okay. I go through my garden and sometimes and just go around and I tap, 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 tap. Or you could take a Q-tip
Uh-huh.
and you go around it. You're a little bee, but your bee is really the Q-tip swab. And you go, okay, now I'm the little pollinator. And then you go to the next one and then you rub that in there. You just rub it in there. And I'm going to send you some videos and you will see just how simple it is. And you're going to be like, I know how to self-pollinate, you know. So
I've been self-pollinating since 2020.
exactly.
Janine showed me how.
Exactly. So so that's just a side note. You could do that. You could self-pollinate with anything. See which ones you can self-pollinate, tomatoes, even your no, okay, yeah, because squash has the male, female, and you know, and the female. Do you know the male, female when you see it on squash?
No.
I'm,
Girl,
I'm gonna send
no.
you some video. No, listen, listen to me. Just listen. I live on YouTube videos. Okay, I have two favorites, and those are the videos. Those are the people that I'm gonna for, and you start following them, right? And look at their videos. You are going to fall in love, and but you are going to learn so much. One is called Roots and Refuge. She's like us. She's our sister. You would hang out at her place with a glass of a mason jar of lemonade and be happy. Okay, Roots and Refuge. The other one's called MI for Michigan Gardener. All right, those two I have learned so much. I did last year. I went to our Prince William County has a master gardener class. Right. Well, you can become a master gardener. You take these classes for like 3 months, I think, and then you become an intern. Well, the internship was supposed to start this spring, but guess what?
Oh, wow.
So I I'm an intern whenever I'm able to exercise that,
Yeah.
you know. So anyway, I did that because I wanted to go deeper, but I'll be honest with you. I'm sharing this for a reason. I realized that I just love gardening. I love watching things grow and I like helping people. I like to share what I know, right? So whether or not I ever become a true, like what they call master gardener, I can't share some of the tips that I get from this collection of people that I follow. I can't share those types of tips if someone asks me as a master gardener in Prince William County. I have to follow Virginia Tech uh, because
Oh, uh-huh.
they provide grant, you know, the grant money to Prince William. So I'm just separating. So the people that I follow, they are very good at what they do, and they've been doing it for years. the one guy sells seeds. And so anyway, so let me go back to BT. I feel like I'm all over the place, but girl, you got me going. Okay, I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste this. Let's see, can I
Well,
send
what's
you?
the deal though about like what's eating the broccoli and how they fit into the ecosystem and encouraging birds and like, you know, making a commitment to where do I buy native plants and like now the
Oh,
only tree I have is a mimosa tree, which is invasive and not native, but it's home to all these birds. So like,
I
I
know,
don't know
I know.
what to do.
And this is the thing. We will never achieve perfection. All right. My instructor, like Master Gardener program, she will tell us, like Rose of Sharon. I think Rose of Sharon is really invasive. All right. It's a beautiful, beautiful bush. I have one. That's why I'm pointing outdoors. I have a Rose of Sharon. I'm not going to cut it down because it's an invasive. I mean, had I known several years ago that maybe I shouldn't bring Rose of Sharon, but my Rose of Sharon also attracts pollinators. I get hummingbirds, I get bees, I get butterflies, moths. They visit this thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would suggest to other people, you may want to get a Rose of Sharon because if you don't have it, if you don't have a lot of pollinators that are naturally hanging out in your space, you want to bring, as you said, even the native plants, but you want to bring horticulture, if you will, that will
Yeah.
allow pollinators to thrive. And I'm going to get back to your question. What do you call it? The butterfly tree, I think they call it. The one that
The butterfly bush, yes, we
the
have
butterfly.
one of
Okay,
those.
that's not native, and it's not.
No, and
Yeah.
nutritious. I heard it's not nutritious.
Yes.
So we were all proud of it because we had tons of butterflies. And I sent an article to my husband. I was like, "Do you think we should take this thing out?" And he was like, "I guess so."
I, mm, I'm just gonna say. So we aim to do things better for our ecosystem, but we're not perfect. There are certain trees I need to tear down out front because now I know more about. Is it a dog? Is it a dogwood? Is um, pears are a version of what tree? It's oh, anyway, the wood is soft, it's horrible, it's gonna destroy itself. We've already had large limbs fall from it, and we have several of them. The point is, you know better, you sort of do better. I probably would have taken out, I had a butterfly bush out back, and I took it out. I did. I'm not taking out my Rose of Sharon because it's right next to my garden. So my
Yeah.
garden benefits from all of that happens in that Rose of Sharon. Now, you talked about native and where to buy, because I know, and I'm going to get to that. Do you have a Southern States? It's a store that sells all plants, hardware. It's similar to like a Lowe's or whatever, but you probably have a Southern States down near you. Hold
I
on.
haven't heard of that, but we definitely have Homestead Gardens, which is the jam.
Oh, you have Homestead Gardens?
Yeah,
Really?
girl. Meet me
They
over
don't.
there. Let's go plant shopping.
Yeah, I know. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, Southern States in what town would you say? Where do you?
Edgewater, Maryland. Annapolis area.
And I'm referring you to them for several reasons. Okay. Locator. I hate when they point you to the bloody locator. Then you got.
Getting
They
your
do
market
everything.
data.
Exactly. I hate. Okay. Yeah. I mean, they have everything. Horse feed, fencing equipment, and so forth. But they also sell native plants that are native, and it's not like
So
they're
that's what
so.
you. So that's what you have to do. You have to go find somebody who sells it.
That's right. And there are,
Okay.
and you will find a lot of nurseries that do sell native, and they usually are in green, like a green container, written in
Oh,
brown. I
okay.
think it says native something.
Okay.
They are easy. And now that you know that you want to plant natives, as do I, because I've never really been into flowers. That's the thing. I'm. it was only through the master gardening program that I thought, you know what, you really have to, learn to love. And I love flowers, but I wanted to learn more.
Yeah.
I have a Virginia native book. I'm going to see in my book whether or not they also publish like a Maryland native, because it's
Oh yeah.
excellent. They have, I think, grasses as well as plant and flower in the book. They have pictures. They even have a grid that tells you where to plant it. Sunny
Oh,
shade.
that's cool.
Oh my God! So I will not forget that videos and that. Um, Now attracting, because yeah, you want the natives. So that's hierarchy, right? We want natives. We want natives that will attract pollinators, right?
Right.
So, and it does take a little research. Are any of your neighbors, as far as you know, gardeners?
Not really that I can see, but there are like in the community. Like I can make a post on our community and be like, I need blah blah blah. There are definitely people who would know what's up.
Okay, and you also, I'm sure you have a cooperative near you. You probably have like in Prince William County, every county has what's called a cooperative extension, and they have master gardeners who are, they're like happy little bees. If you call them, you're like, I'm having a problem with that, or I need to know where to. They are so excited. They're people like you and me who love to garden. We want to know more, but they are master gardeners, and they
Oh wow.
answer questions. You can send in a diseased leaf. They actually want more than a leaf. They want you to send like a branch along with several leaves, so they can
Yeah.
really help you determine what the issue is. We will come out and test your lawn, your soil.
Oh wow.
So look up. Yeah, please do look this up. Where the closest cooperative extension is. I'm sure
Write that
you
down.
I'm sure you have one. I mean, basically every county, and if it's not near Edgewater, it may be the surrounding county, has one.
Yeah.
And that's where you really are going to learn a lot about where to get natives like in your area. Oh, because a lot of these cooperatives, you probably have to go. Oh my God. Okay. Listen, a lot of these cooperatives, they also have, like, we have a teaching garden, right? And you can volunteer your time out there, but teaching gardens also sell native plants. So
Oh yeah.
check out your cooperative extension. I promise you, you are going to be geeky excited that you've identified it, and they look forward to helping. They're the helpers. You know how look for the helpers.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the thing that like has really been breaking my heart is that now that I know about it, and now that I see how much like cultivated crap is shoved down your throat in landscaping, and then I
Yes.
start to think about like the entire ecosystem and how many landscaping opportunities are lost in just like hostas and
Yes.
just like the same impatience, just like the same thing over
Thank.
and over again. I'm like, oh my, all this land
Yes.
that then there's no ecosystem for the food system to happen,
That's right.
and you're
That's
just
right.
being, it's like you have 12 choices that are all from all just these like stripped of all of their like the
Of their
ecosystem beauty, for lack of a word.
that's right, and it's true because there's
Sterilized.
no regenerative. There's no regenerative factor. There's not. Yeah, right. Like sterilized. They. It's like, hey, we plant this here, but then nothing. It doesn't give back to the earth. It's not putting nutrients in the soil. You're like I'm going to use green beans as an example. If you grow green beans, it puts nitrogen in. It's nitrogen stabilizing. It puts nitrogen in the soil. So there are plants, and this is what you're aiming for. Oh my God, I'm so excited. You're looking for opportunities to buy plants, and then to nurture your soil, because it all starts with the soil, so that it gives back each and every time. In my garden, I didn't know anything about cover crops. I didn't know a dang thing about it. Well, I learned about it,
Well, what are
again, it's
cover
through this
crops? I don't
cooperative.
know. I don't know what that is.
Listen, let me tell you what it is. So Whereas I would cover my garden with, no, my first few years of gardening, I did not. But the latter few years, I covered it like with leaves, which is good because they break down, into the soil. That's great. And that's like a cover crop, all right? But so is buckwheat. So is crimson. So is there's so many we might consider them like weeds, but they're nutrients to your soil. They keep your soil sort of stabilized. When you're ready to use that soil next spring, you literally are taking, now it takes a little work because you're pulling out like buckwheat out of your, but guess what? It automatically sort of starts to a little composting, as well as it keeps your soil loosened. So when people are using like, I mean, I shouldn't say it like this, but not tractors, what do they call it? The tillers?
A tiller, yeah.
You will find that you're tilling less because tilling actually takes out a lot of the nutrients out of the soil. I didn't know that when I first started planting. I had no clue. I was, happy as a lark that we could do this thing, right? That's why I say we're not perfect, but we continue to learn. So a cover crop is exactly as it's stated. It is a crop that you put in your garden space to protect it during the winter. After your spinach has gone, collard greens is another thing that grows really well in the winter.
That's what I told my husband. I really want to grow collards, man.
Yeah, you can do that.
Beautiful collards like you get in South Carolina.
Okra. It's not too late.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, I'm growing okra now. Yeah. Yep, and I can send you some okra seeds from my because I save seeds. You're saving seeds too, right? I mean, you're going to.
Well, I'm not there yet, so I don't know what to save seeds from.
But you will. Can I tell you something? Do you still have any tomatoes?
No. We cooked with
them
all. Richie put them all. Oh, gee, he put them all on a big tray and put them in the smoker, and then he made a smoked tomato soup that was like.
Oh my gosh. Okay, because I need recipes, but I'll send you, because a lot of this, gardening, and I need to stop. But gardening is, as you're learning, you're also prepping for the next year. You're learning. You go, oh, okay, next year I'll do that. Next year, I'm gonna do that way. It's an experiment. So yeah, and so I look forward to sending you some videos, and
that would be awesome.
And you're gonna love it.
Well, thank you for letting me sidetrack half an hour of our conversation.
So cover crop.
Thank you for letting me hijack
this is our conversation. This is us.
This is us.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me hijack like this.
No, this is not a hijack. This is your time. I want you to send me what you come up with, and I want to help you flesh those packages out. So I want you to actually do it. I'm gonna put a note on my calendar for 2 weeks. If I haven't heard from you in 2 weeks, I'm gonna ping you, and I want to see us develop these things out.
Okay.
Because the opportunities are here right now. They're right now.
Yes.
Let's get you marketable.
Okay. And that's my. Yes. Yes. Thank you. And I need that, and that's where I need help, because the way I've described them now. And I'm not going to, sort of repeat that whole conversation. It's limited. So I'll rethink, and I hope I come back with something that's a bit more enhanced and more to work with.
Well, what I can do is, based on what we talked about here today, is I can go back and be like, remember how I said A is the audio only? And I can write a little paragraph. And that'll help you kind of figure out what are the bullet points underneath that.
Okay,
so,
that would be.
Let me put on my list.
Okay.
Let me put that on my list.
Thank you. I think that will be helpful. I mean, help me clear my mind.
I think so too, because otherwise you're going to be like, what did we even say? So I'll start taking them out just based on kind of like some vision.
Yeah.
You can go figure out what the bullet parts are underneath them, what you need to make them happen. I'll play with you as long as you.
Oh, I play, girl. I love to play, but we're gonna nail this, because and then invite others to play in the sandbox, you know?
The market is right for what you're
It is.
doing. I mean, baby,
Wow.
virtual baby shower to
Oh my,
employee of the month, like anywhere in between.
I have not even thought about that, and you're absolutely right. I mean, yeah, even the baby shower thing. I mean, who ever thought? And because everything is an event, right? Everything's a ta-da moment, you know.
That's right. And we're learning that we need programming to keep a structure, or
Yeah,
it's just all over the place and no one has fun. I don't
programming.
want to go to a Zoom birthday party because the 20 minutes it takes to get everyone to sing the song drives me to drink.
Oh my God! It's like, no, I don't want to stop. No, I don't like to sing. No, I don't. You know.
I was on a Zoom with 8 musicians who couldn't get happy birthday together.
Oh, stop it!
Y'all are in a band. Somebody get their little sticks. Like,
Or someone just do this. You know.
anything.
Exactly. Give me a little rhythm.
So we know
Okay,
we need
Rebecca.
programming. Yeah, and I can see you selling the crap out of that just using Instagram or Facebook ads.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that's another thing. Okay. One step at a time, because I do
I
think.
don't advocate for social media ads for a lot of people. This
Yeah.
is something I think you could do easily.
Okay. Yeah, and I think, yeah, because it will sell. You can hear, you can see, you can, you know, all of this. You can use almost all of your senses except for smell, and you don't need smell. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Another idea, girl, is like specifically towards memory care and dementia about capturing stories before they disappear in the brain cloud. So if you've got somebody who you know is starting towards dementia, you want to capture some of those family stories, this could be the time to do it. You could even partner with like assisted living homes. You know, remember the old days when it was like school picture day and people sending their packages?
Oh yes. Yes.
Imagine if you were on site, like, and you took like 5 families that signed up for it, and you were able to capture some of those stories and then turn it into something for the family. So it's just like you have a lot of
Oh my
opportunity.
God. And it would have both the audio, the visual, you know, of that family member if it's done, like you said, via Zoom right? Via Zoom. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, you can. You can absolutely do it.
Okay.
100%. You have to. We're not going to traipse all over the country with a microphone and a camera crew.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. So it has to be through this medium, right? I mean.
Yeah, and people do it, and television and stuff. Take a look. Notice, what are the new shows coming out on Netflix? People are doing like professional actors are doing their scenes alone, maybe with a crew or one other setup, and then all the magic is happening in the editing room floor.
Oh
They're
my
putting
God.
together full-length movies like that because we can't get actors and a crew together anymore.
Okay, this is it.
Right for it.
I had not even thought about. I mean, I hadn't even thought about that. I mean, I really haven't. I haven't thought beyond this audio. I haven't. So this is sinking in, and I mean,
I am here for it, girl. I think you've got something here.
Oh my God, Rebecca, thank you. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for what you did. I'm going to follow up with you next week with fleshing some of this out. I want to see you then put a little into it, and let's see if we can't develop one of these packages and sell it.
Okay, let's do it. I am so game. And when you feel it's right to approach even you know, and it would be great if it were sort of like in the family of someone that you know.
Yeah,
like
I also have another video. Client actually might even be better because their specialty is interviewing the people on Skype. So like or on Zoom, like they know how to like them, get them set up, ask the right questions, do the editing and stuff, and they're like storytellers. I'll send you a link to their stuff too, because like for Paul it'll be production and maybe an add-on. But for these ladies, it's what they live and breathe, the storytelling from the perspective of the people telling the story. So there's something there.
Please send me their links. I can check them out. I would love to.
Yeah, 100%. And they're my client too, so it's easy. It's in the family.
Yeah, I love that. I love the family thing. Yeah, I really do. I feel
We
safe.
gotta keep
Yeah,
our pod, girl. That's my
that's
link.
right.
That's my pinky.
My pinky.
Thanks. All
Thank
right, I
you.
will follow up with you next week with this stuff. Let's keep it connected. Let's keep it moving.
Let's do it,
I'm
sister.
making
Thank you
me.
so very much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, and
All
thanks for
right.
gardening tip.
You're welcome. And I'm sending you some videos. Just look for them in the next day or so.
That's awesome. And when this
Okay.
recording gets done, I'll upload it and send you a link.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
you,
All right,
Rebecca
guys.
Gunter. Thank you.
Bye
Okay.
bye, honey.
Ciao.